Folks, I've been taking groups of people to Israel since 1981 to experience the land of the Bible, and I'm going to be there the next several days. Now, the toughest part of the trip is always that long flight. But this year, I was thinking about taking a more scenic, albeit slower form of travel. I thought about going in a Chinese balloon. Yeah. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be so fast, but I'd get to see and hear things from that balloon that would make it pretty fascinating. And I know I'd have a week or two to be in that balloon before Joe Biden would send a plane to knock it down. Yeah. Now, on the other hand, if he knew I was in it, man, it would probably warrant an immediate scrambling of Air Force fighters, and I'd be hurtling toward Earth within minutes. Well, this week, Joe Biden gave his State of the Union message. I was pretty disappointed. I was sure hoping that Kevin McCarthy would take the speech and rip it in two from the speaker's chair, just like Nancy Pelosi did to Donald Trump. But hey, quite frankly, he is a nicer person than Nancy Pelosi, that's for sure. And I really didn't get into the president's speech that much, in part because I thought the real important speech of the night came from that new governor of Arkansas. Yeah. You know, that young lady who gave the Republican response at the State of the Union. Now, that was a speech. Of course, I say that with the utmost of objectivity. Seriously, of course I like the speech that my daughter gave even better than the president's speech, but only in part because she's related to me. I just thought she covered the most important observation about the challenge in America today, that this is not a Democrat versus Republican deal as much as it is common sense versus crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it is crazy when we send a 27-member SWAT team armed with fully automatic weapons to conduct a pre-dawn raid on former President Trump's home to look for some papers. But we let the communist Chinese government float a balloon over the heartland of America, including right over some of our military installations, and we don't bother to knock it down until it's finished going across the entire country and gets out over the Atlantic Ocean. This is as crazy as tearing down the barriers at the borders and giving a green light to millions of illegal immigrants, including drug dealers and human sex traffickers, to come right in and make themselves at home. And it's crazy when the Marxists in our own government tell us that we ought to get rid of gas stoves and fossil fuel cars. Yeah. I mean, that's just great. When you tell some factory worker making $40,000 a year that he ought to go out and buy an $80,000 electric car, even though he can't charge it enough to get to work every day. It's crazy when people running our Health and Human Services Department say they don't know what a woman is. It reminds me that it's not the first time people in government have been confused. Watch.
Take a look at the colonel and the WAF captain that come in the base. Boy, is she stacked.
Women officers, that's one thing I sure don't cotton to.
What about you, Stockdale? What do you think of them?
I ain't never seen one.
Ain't you got eyes?
Well, I want you to turn around very slowly and look very carefully this time and tell me exactly what you see.
I see a colonel.
Yeah?
And a captain. That's all.
And the captain's a woman, ain't she?
I don't notice whether it's a man or a woman or what.
You know, what we now realize is that Andy Griffith, playing the role of Will Stockdale in No Time for Sergeants, was the beginning of wokeness in the military. And by golly, maybe he was the father of insanity in our government. Now, we thought all along it was something brand new, but come to think of it, in the day of that film, it was played for laughs, and it was all comedy. But the loons in our culture now are serious. And it's not funny anymore. It really is crazy versus common sense. And I sure hope common sense will win. Hey, Mike Huckabee here. Listen, if you love your mom, apple pie, and being conservative, you know you ought to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and click the like button, and show all the leftists out there that conservatives are thriving and patriotism is far from dead. Am I pandering too much? No way. I'm just getting started.